Welcome to English classes, my dear students. So far we have discussed on the unit title, that is personality development, its importance, and later on in the next class we learned the importance of the title attitude is altitude. So I think you understood better. So altitude, we reach the apex position only when we change our attitude. So, do you find any persons in our surroundings who became very great, who became very popular just by changing their mindset? Yes. So, our textbook is giving us some example. In the very first page, we call it as the face sheet, the trigger sheet. So, the first page we see, in the very first page, we see three pictures. Have you ever observed it? So I request all of you to put the textbooks before you while listening to my lessons. Yes, the first picture talks about a personality, a great personality called Sudha Chandran. And the second picture is about Stephen Hawking. And the third picture is about Henry Killer. Who are these people? So not only these three people, not only these three personalities, but we see many great people around our life. So your friend may be your best example. So we have to observe their lives. So what is their greatness? So you understand that you should try to understand that nobody's life is bed of roses. So what do you mean by bed of roses? So roses are very beautiful flowers, and they are very sensitive flowers, and they are very smooth flowers, soft flowers. That means if you put your feet on the rose petals, so you won't find or you won't feel any pain at all, as if we are walking on the mukmal cloth, so we get some soft sensation. So when do you use this comparison? When a person's life is full of comforts, when he doesn't know any problem in his life. So in comparing those people's life, we say his life is bed of roses. He is born with silver spoon. So to compare a person's happiest life, if a person is very happy, very comfortable, we use this comparison. But my dear students, life is not such a comfortable zone. We are not living in a comfortable zone. So once in our life period, we should face some problems. And we see many people facing many problems in their life and successfully coming out of those problems. So what is the reason behind it? So he's a very lucky person. He's a God gifted person. That's why narrowly he escaped from the problems. We listen to this kind of comments by the people, normal people, ordinary people. But we should understand behind everybody's life, we see some problems. And those people who face those problems in a stubborn way, they only succeed in their life. And today we are learning their lives in our syllabus. Are we learning the life history of some people, about all the people who are living here? No. Out of 1,000, we may be listening or we may be learning about one or two people. So what's their greatness? Their greatness is nothing but their determination, their disciplined way of life, and their hard work and their mindset, that is called attitude. So I think in ninth class also we learned about Michael, who is a blind person, and how he achieved the world record, pole vault record, and how he defeated his own records. So what do you learn in that lesson? We learned about the commitment of that person, along with the guidance and support of his family members and also his teachers. So behind everybody's life, behind everybody's success. So suppose here we are talking about the successful people's life. Behind everybody's success, we see their commitment, determination, discipline, and hard work. And more than all, we see their commitment and also their mindset. So in this lesson also, we are learning about three great people as an example. Who are those three people? First person is nothing but Sudha Chandra. So she's a very familiar TV actor and also movie actress, and she played as a heroine in many movies. Even in Telugu also she acted in some movies and she became a very popular. So what's her greatness? So she was born on 27th September 1965. Yes. So she met with an accident while coming from Madras. And actually, she is a great Bharatanatyam dancer. And her passion is to become a great Bharatanatyam dancer and to give some excellent performances all over the country, even at national, international level also. Sure, her life is Bharatanatyam. She dedicated her life for Bharatanatyam. So in her young age, when she was 16 years old or more than that, she met with an accident while coming from Madras city. Unfortunately, she met with an accident and lost her left leg. So doctors tried their level best to uh, restore the leg, but slowly it got septic, and finally the doctors decided to amputate. Amputate means, you can see from my expressions, amputate means to cut and remove the part of the body. So they decided to remove the leg from her body. Yes, they removed it. They removed her left leg. Then what happened? So if she is an ordinary lady, she would have got into depression. So in her beginning days, she actually went into her depression state. But a determined lady, a bold lady, so she changed her mindset, and because of her great passion on Bharatanatyam, she decided to make some attempts to once again practice Bharatanatyam. So what is that effort? So somebody told her, even the doctors might have suggested her, so you can stand on your legs. So you can stand on your artificial leg. So in Jaipur is famous for artificial legs. So if you go to Jaipur, they fix you some artificial leg. So with that leg, you can just stand and could able to do your day-to-day activities. So you can't dance as you danced in the previous years. So this artificial leg will support your life. You can do your activities without depending on others. Yes, she accepted the proposal and went to Jaipur and got fixed the artificial limbs or legs. Yes, after that she got one more idea. So my passion, my life is Bharatanatyam. So I can't live without dancing. So why can't I try to dance? So if I could able to stand, so why can't I practice Bharatanatyam? Why can't I bring my glory back? Yes, she tried, tried, tried her level best, and finally she once again started giving performances in Bharatanatyam dance. She gave, after that, she gave some performances and got a great recognition in the society. People started appreciating her efforts. So, do you think it's the easiest thing? Do you think it's easy to practice and dance with an artificial leg? Impossible. But she made an impossible thing as a possible thing. That's the mindset. That's the attitude. So we have to appreciate her attitude. So after that, Mayuri picture, Mayuri, with the name of Mayuri, she acted as a heroine, and that picture also successfully played for 100 days. And from that time onwards, she became a popular heroine also. She played in many movies, and today she's acting in many Tamil, Telugu, and other serials. And people are appreciating her, still appreciating her, and adoring her talent. And not only that, she received National Film Award. And not only that, she received many local and national awards from various organizations, and still she is continuing her passion in Bharatanatyam dance. So this is a small example what man can do. We can even challenge our lives. So actually she got a disaster in her life. She actually, an ordinary person would have gone into depression state, but slowly she came out of that negative condition to a positive, and and also with her optimistic ideas she converted the negative, or she converted the um, disastrous situation into a prosperous situation. So my dear students, do you understand the concept behind it? If man can, if man wants to do, he can do anything. We can even convert the um, negative situations into positive situations. Now she's a popular heroine. Now, so let us take one more example given in our textbook, that's about Stephen Hawking. It is Sudha Chandran's life condition is one way, and Stephen Hawking's situation is a different thing. So Sudha Chandran enjoyed her life up to certain years, but Stephen Hawking's right from his sorry actually, so he started suffering with a peculiar disease which is called as ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's a peculiar disease. Even the doctors also unable to predict and say the reason for this disease. All of a sudden, his body muscles, body bones, and the other parts of his body started becoming paralyzed. So what is the reason? Even the doctors also does not know about the actual cause for the disease. So an ordinary person would have commit suicide at that time, but great people will never do like that. They challenge their lives. So Stephen Hawking was born in 1942, January 8th, and his parents' names are Isabel and Frank Hawkins, and he married Jane Wilde. And so after some years, this fellow's life is restricted only to the wheelchair. So he could not even turn his head. He could not even lift his hands. So if you have seen the picture Upiri, the Nagarjuna's character. So Nagarjuna's character is somewhat better than Hawking's situation. So just like that. So he talked with others, but Stephen Hawking could not even talk with others. But later on, some great people, some great scientists, they discovered a wheelchair. With the help of that wheelchair, he moved from one place to another place. And they also attached the sense organs with his brain. He can't even lift his finger. He can't even open his lips. That was the drastic condition of Stephen Hawking. But they never give up, but they never give up their life. They didn't kill their hope. Still they wanted to live on this earth and do something good for this society. Actually, doctors already told him that he won't live more than a year or two. But his determination, but his confidence made him to live for so many years on this earth to do some good to this world. So after that, he made research on black hole theory, and he also discovered Hawking's radiation theory and many more theories about the celestial objects and movements and other things. And he gave so many theories about his knowledge on the universal bodies, and he gave a clear idea about the formation of black holes and the destruction caused by the black holes and other things. So it's very difficult part, and he took it as a challenge. I should live. The only determination that he wanted to live on this, or he wanted to lead a useful or fruitful life, enabled him to live for some more years on this earth. Yes. And next, and he also got royal fellow of Royal Society. He became a fellow of Royal Society award, and he became a popular hero. Okay, so this is now hero means he is an ideal person for all the modern scientists. So many people know about his life, and he became a very successful person in spite of his disability. So people feel that disability is the worst condition, but these people, they converted those disabled situations into able situations. Yes. Now, in the same way, in the same lesson, in the same chapter, we learn about Henry Keller. Helen Keller, sorry. Helen Keller was actually born in 1880 in on June 27th, and when she was 1.5 years, she suffered with a great illness. She got a fever, and that fever made her sick. And after that, when she recovered from the sickness, his parents found that totally she became a deaf and blind lady. And but she did not give up her life. So hope. What is that hope? Life is beautiful. So I can do it. I can do something in my life. So after that, first blind and deaf woman graduate in the world. She is the first blind and deaf graduate. She completed her education, and she proved that disability is not going to hinder anyone to pursue their education. So these are the three best examples we get in our lesson. So what do we learn from their lives? So what lesson we should learn from these three great people's life? Not only these three great people, but if you go on learning the biographies, we can learn many things. So if you learn about Milton, so if you come to literature, so John Milton is a blind man. And in spite of his blindness, he wrote many poems and he wrote many books and became a famous person. So disability is not going to hinder us. The only thing we need is some inspiration, external inspiration and internal inspiration. So that's why, my dear students, I request all of you to read the biographies of some great people. So what do we get out of reading them? So you get some inspiration. So these great books motivate you. So just by seeing the movies or just by seeing the pictures, we don't get motivation. The actual problem, the actual situations they faced in their life can be understood only when you read their autobiographies. So you know about Bacon. Bacon is a great essayist in English. He is the first essayist in English literature. So he gave a beautiful definition about the books. So why I insist you all to read the books. So books are our great friends. So a great book, a good book, a suitable book can change your life. Not only that it can change the entire society. So if you come across a beautiful book or excellent book, you don't leave it, you read it. In the first instance, you may not understand the concept. So again you read it, you read it until you understand the concept. So after reading those books, what you should do? Again you read it. Again you read it until the book, each and every meaning is injected in your blood. So that's why back and used to say that some books ought to be read. So we read many books in our life. So all books should not be read in the same fashion. So some books are to be read. We read our textbooks, we read our newspaper, we read newspapers, and we read some books which we come across. So you read them. But there are some books which are to be chewed. Chewed means until you understand the concept. So in from those books, we even by heart some quotations, we even directly by heart some concepts. They are to be choosed. Chew means navaradam. Chewing is nothing but navaradam in Telugu. So some books are to be read and some books are to be chewed. But there are certain books in the society which are written by some great people. They should be chewed and completely digested in our body. It means even when you are in deep sleep, you should be able to understand and you should be able to recollect the concepts or ideas projected in those books. So that book should be digested. We have to chew them and swallow them and get them digested in our body. That means it is not after listening to this definition, you don't go to the shops and tear the papers and chew them and digest them. That is not the concept. Here chewing means, Navaradamu means we have to understand the concept. Digesting means that book should be the part of your life. There are certain books. We have to practice them in your life. Just they won't be satisfied just by reading those books. So that is the greatness of those books. And especially we have to read the biographies of some great personalities who lived on this earth and inspired some thousands of people during their period and even the present situation also. Understand? So H.W. Longfellow used to say that lives of great people are always sublime. You no need to do anything. So simply you stand, you put your feet in their foot, in their imprints. They left some imprints on the time of sand. So H.W. Longfellow said this quotation about great people's life. So if you want to become sublime, sublime means very great person, popular person. If you want to make your life great, so you don't put your efforts. You no need to put any extra efforts or additional efforts. You simply follow what the great people did in their lives. So they lived on this earth and left their imprints on the time of sand. Time of sand means during their period, they influenced certain people and they did some great things. And you understand them, you study them, and simply put your feet in their imprints. It's just like so if you want to go to the top floor, we are not climbing the steps. In olden days, people used to climb the steps, but today we are simply standing in the we are simply standing in the escalators. We are standing on the escalators and those lifts and we are standing in the lift, and the lift is taking you to the top level or top floor. So are you making any extra efforts? No. Simply we are using what our elders, and simply we are performing, we are trying to understand what our elders did in their life. So just you do like that. In the same way, we are getting inspiration from them. We are getting motivated from their lives. So great people's lives are always motivation gives motivation to us. And your life will give motivation to the next generation. So try to live like a inspiring people, and try to do some great things in your life, so that your life will also become sublime for the coming generations. So this is what we learn from the first unit, face sheet, where we are learning about three great personalities. And during your leisure period, you read about some more great people and try to make your life great, and also an ideal life for the rest of the generation. So I hope you understood the concept. In the next lesson, in the next class, we are going to learn what is actually given in the first lesson. Understand? Okay? So until then, you try to recollect what we learned in the classes so far, and in the next class we shall start the actual lesson given in our first unit, that is attitude is altitude. Until then, enjoy your life, stay at home, and be happy. Thank you.